I got fired today from a job that I didn't even like, and what's really is they let me work the entire day before letting me go.
The jobs report was released, and the results, they were bad.
Fortunately, today I am not bringing good news. If you are on this call, this will be your last day at Corporate Corp.
So with the never-ending news and stats coming out with the job market while we're on the home stretch of 2025, I'm not going to lie to you, it's not looking that good. The jobs reports, the downward revisions that happen a few months after, and the total layoffs this year paint a grim reality that has honestly been happening since I started making videos on this channel. We have a lot to go over today along with comments from you guys from previous videos, so if you want to be featured on a future video, leave in the comments down below, but I don't want to waste any more time, let's just jump right into it.
Salesforce says it has cut 4,000 of its customer support roles. CEO Mark Benioff revealed the layoffs during an interview on the Logan Bartlett Show. Salesforce tells NBC Bay Area, quote, because of the benefits and efficiencies of Agentforce, we've seen the number of support cases we handle decline, and we no longer need to actively backfill support engineer roles. HR consultant Lori Rudiman says AI is affecting jobs in several fields. She says that if you want to stay employed or are looking for work, new skills are needed, not just contacts.
If your network could get you a job, it would have done it already. It would have done it yesterday. So it's on you to really expand your vision, expand your horizons.
So if you don't have a job right now, especially because of the AI boom that's happened over the past couple years, I guess that's 100% on you. You didn't know that it was coming. The other thing that I caught is that the CEO revealed it on an interview. Hopefully that means they revealed it to the public on whatever interview they were talking about, not the actual employees that were getting laid off. Imagine watching your boss tell you along with thousands of other people that you just got canned live on TV. I hope that's not what actually happened, but I wouldn't put it past people nowadays. We have a comment from one of you guys. The jobs report is so bad in our community that the ducks have started to throw bread at people. Now that was supposed to be a lighthearted, funny comment, but definitely an element of truth to that when we take a look at what happened.
The jobs report was released, and the results, they were bad. Now the Federal Reserve is going to have to cut interest rates more quickly in order to rescue the labor markets. So for the month of August, the labor market added an estimated 22,000 jobs. So this came in far below expectation. The expectation was 75,000 net jobs to be created. And you have to remember that this is just a preliminary number because it's expected to be revised downward heavily. So take a look at the chart, which shows how many net jobs are created each month. The labor market continues to steadily weaken. Okay, now here's something that I want to point out to you, which I actually predicted. It came true. So take a look at the month of June. In the month of June, they revised the figure down again. Now they're saying that the labor market lost 13,000 jobs in June.
And I really don't doubt that the exact same thing will happen with the newest data with only 22,000 missing the mark by over 50,000 jobs. And this is the info that they put out while cooking the books. It almost always gets revised down, so how bad is it really going to be?
We just learned that the US erased nearly 1 million jobs from its books in the biggest negative revision ever. The Bureau of Labor Statistics said it overstated 911,000 jobs from April 24 to March 25. That is the biggest preliminary downgrade in history and worse than what happened after the 2008 financial crisis. But this is not just some one-off mistake. It's the third year in a row of an unusually large downward revision. Over 2 million jobs have now been wiped out after the fact. This means the labor market, which we already knew was slowing down, is even weaker than anyone thought.
But there's probably a good amount of people that never see the downward revision. They'll get the news once a month that a certain amount of jobs have been created and everything's completely fine. We're okay. But in reality, that's just not what's happening right now.
Yesterday, my company had the largest layoffs that they've done in a really long time, and it was actually one of the scariest things I've had to witness in a work setting. I never thought that I would see so many people laid off from their job at once. All morning, I just kept seeing people from my team just gone. And I got phone calls from friends saying that they were gone too. I feel like right now I should be motivated to work and motivated to do better because I know that my job is always on the line actually. But in reality, I'm actually really demotivated, and I actually really feel for the people that lost their job. And I kind of just realized, you're just a number to these large corporate companies. no matter how good of a person you are, they don't know you.
While I do agree with that because I have said something similar in the past, I think something else to add to that while watching a whole bunch of your team, hundreds or thousands of people from the entire company just constantly walking out, if you're supposedly one of the lucky ones who have stayed, you're now going to have to pick up all the slack from the workers who did get fired. Tons of these companies are on a hiring freeze, whether they say it out loud or not, but at the end of the day, the work still needs to be done, so now you're supposed to be thankful that you still have a job while doing the work of multiple people with the exact same pay. We have another comment from you guys talking about a job fair clip that we watched. That job fair lady was not lying. I no longer attend job fairs because you're definitely instructed to apply online. Then what's the point of going in person? Also, I've never seen one company hire anyone on the spot at these events. That's basically what we saw in a previous video. I don't know if it's a business write-off, maybe some sort of marketing scheme, even though you're just at a job fair. Everybody who's attending has the exact same goal in mind to potentially find a career. So that's why I was confused about it, but apparently this is much more widespread than I thought. So instead, you could just go online and Indeed and apply to hundreds or thousands of jobs and just get ghosted.
800,000 jobs have been cut this year in the US alone, and companies aren't done yet because as the year has progressed, layoffs have been picking up steam. They were much heavier in the second quarter than in the first quarter, which is highly unusual. And beyond all of this, there have been more than 2 million people actively looking for a job for around a year or more. And you know, for many of these people, it's been well over a year. And that's not counting all of the people who've given up because they've tried so long and found nothing. Because of all of this, it's an employer's market, which means that companies are taking their sweet time when it comes to hiring someone. Some of them go months and months trying to find the perfect candidate who will accept basically no pay for being a superhero around the office.
And he is not lying. We've seen exact instances of that previously. Another comment here, my grandfather worked one job for his entire life, from 1937 to 1991. When we asked why he stayed and never left, he said, "They took care of me and my family." Those days do not exist anymore. I'm 36 and on my third job due to 2 other jobs folding. One after working there for a decade, and I was recently told I'm being let go from my current job. There really is no company loyalty in today's world. If they need to cut costs for any reason, you're immediately taken out. And if you have watched one of my older videos, we have an update from a creator we took a look at that unfortunately had this exact thing happen to him.
What's up, guys? I'm Rylan. I've been working in corporate America for a little over 3 years. You may recognize my video from before where I joked around about wanting to crash my car into a tree. Today, I was informed that 80 to 90% of our sales team has been laid off, including myself. It's not just newer hires, it's people that have been with the company for over 10 years, people that are 200% to quota, hitting all their goals, just informed that they no longer have a job. So with that being said, make sure you take your PTO, go to the birthday party, go to the wedding, take a vacation with your family, because at the end of the day, you are just another number to these corporations. They will drop you for any reason at any time. So yeah, make sure you take care of yourself. Don't give all your time to your job. And I'm gonna go crash my car into a tree. Catch you later.
I know he's saying this because in the first clip, he was talking about what the point of all of this was. He went to school, got a degree, just like he was told to by his teachers in high school and his family, right? Racked up a ridiculous amount of student debt just to get a job that barely pays for the current cost of living. And then you have to give basically your life to that company. But if anything is a little shaky, you get examples like this, and he just got laid off. What are you really supposed to do? There's basically no way to win. Another comment here, emergency 6-month fund is not even enough. I've gone through it for the last 10 months and the last 2 have been an absolute survival game. So the 6-month emergency fund doesn't really seem to be working for too many people right now. I would probably start saying a year or more, because potentially that could be how long you're actively looking for a job in this market. You're not taking off time, going on vacations, kind of looking for jobs here or there, but primarily you're just relaxing and living life. People are actively looking for jobs day in and day out and still finding nothing.
A woman's husband was laid off from his 25-year career at Microsoft after being randomly selected by an algorithm. Not a manager, not a human being at all, just a line of code that was like, you're out. Her husband was one of some 6,000 employees recently laid off by Microsoft, likely because of AI. Of course, the company won't admit that that's why, but their CEO did just say that up to 30% of the company's code is now written by AI. And the bulk of those recent layoffs was people like software engineers that, write code, so you can kind of do the math. And to make this even more chilling, those layoffs included Gabriela de Quiroz, who was Microsoft's, wait for it, Director of Artificial Intelligence for its startup products. This woman's husband's experience just underlines how indifferent and dehumanizing this is all becoming. She wrote in a Reddit post that her husband barely took sick days, regularly worked holidays so employees with kids could be at home with their children. He's won awards for solving multi-million-dollar software bugs. Even the CEO knew him by name. But none of it was enough to save him, and his last day will be his 48th birthday.
And unfortunately, if you want to look this up yourself, whether you're searching YouTube or going on TikTok, there are so many different examples just like this. I'm not cherry picking a few stories here or there. I also thought it was interesting that the head of the AI team ended up losing her job because of what she was doing for the company. Basically, the creator of your own demise there. But with the main story to this clip, you could be the absolute home run hero for massive corporations like Microsoft, and you'll still be cut out by an algorithm. This is why no one should ever be loyal to a corporation. Take your PTO, sick days, and everything. Another comment here. I got laid off in 2009 from a company that I worked for and devoted my life to for 12 years. I never really recovered from that. I had to seriously reevaluate my beliefs and values after that. I think it really is the programming that we get, especially in high school, how much we're pushed to go to college and get a degree, and then you could have your nice corporate office. And if things don't go to that plan, it could really mess up a lot of people's lives.
So the unemployment rate for computer engineering graduates has more than tripled over the last year. A screenshot from the New York Fed report a year ago, computer engineering, 2.3% unemployment. Same source, a year later, computer engineering, 7.5% unemployment.
Computer engineering here, 600 plus applications and still unemployed. Outsourcing plus AI. And we have a ton of examples like this. Up on screen right now is somebody with a computer science degree, basically saying the exact same thing. They got their degree and they are completely unemployed, cannot find a job right now. Computer science went from being the top 5 most desirable and highest paid majors to top 5 most unemployed grads. Literally in the span of 4 years, I was getting my degree. I mean, I also heard that while I was in high school as well. Computers are the future. Learn to code. You'd be able to make 6 figures easily and work at one of these tech giant corporations. And now all we're seeing is layoffs. I have a bachelor's degree in aerospace engineering. Make sure that you guys intern. It's tough out here while working at Target. I'm honestly impressed that you landed the Target gig because they usually reject people with degrees. With almost 113,000 likes just on that comment. I had 3 internships, double majored, and still unemployed. It's been 7 months now. POV, you got your bachelor's degree in criminal justice but can't find a job. I could have probably made an entire video just showing you example after example. But we'll finish this section off with a little bit more of a lighthearted clip.
I just got denied from a barista job. And I don't want to say anything specific, but I feel like I should have been like an immediate hire.
It's like banning Michael Phelps from the pool. 2 hair colors and a septum ring? Are they trying to go out of business? That one had almost 150,000 likes. This is how we know the job market is worse than it's ever been. You're the blueprint recession indicator. So this wasn't supposed to be taken too seriously. Like I said, a little bit more lighthearted in this very depressing video, but we can move on to the next example.
So I'm 29 now, have a master's degree, but I did make some mistakes in college that I wish I could go back and fix. So here's what I would tell you. Choose something smart. I chose physics. It was not the smartest. It sounded cool, but after I graduated, it was hard to find a job. It wasn't until I got a master's in civil engineering where a job lined up for me. So before you tell me in the comments, oh, my friend studied U.S. history from 1800s to the 1900s, and they have a great job. They work at the Smithsonian. That is not the case for most people, okay? Same with like liberal arts, philosophers. You're not going to become the next Socrates. Psychology, also very hard. Cool field, but it's hard to get a job, man. Just telling you what it is.
And the other bit of advice just boils down to being social and networking. I guess that's a lot of people's argument in favor of college right now, that your 4 years of attending school is just one big network meeting. I mean, on one hand, I understand, but paying $40, $50, $60, $70,000 a year just for the potential of networking and maybe landing a job through that seems absolutely insane to me. But I guess we're just getting to that point now. It's all about who you know and how they could get you a job. My son graduated for computer engineering and no job. Me with my criminal justice degree, another one. But the entire process from start to finish is just a mess.
I had a job interview today, and come to find out it was not a job interview. So I show up to the company. I was very, very excited about this opportunity because I really wanted this job. I go in. I tell them, hey, I'm here for a job interview. Front desk woman is like, you're who? Like, they were like, very confused. So she went back, got someone. They came out and they're like, why are you here? And I was like, because I have an interview. I've been in contact with this person, right? And then they both look confused. I kind of hear them talking in the back, and they're like, I hope she doesn't have an interview for my job. I was like, what? So I end up meeting with the person who I'd been in contact with. And he sits down and we're talking, and he's like, I did already fill this position, but I just wanted to meet you in case we have something in the future.
This should be illegal to do. That's extremely unprofessional. Not to mention, people waste their last dollar on gas getting to that job interview. They're playing in our faces. Fake job, fake interviews, ghosting, layoffs, all-time high. But at the same time, if you get caught lying on your resume, whew, the double standards are just amazing to me.
I'm not sure if you've seen this, but Intel is laying off 15,000 people. Yep, that's 15,000 people. This is nothing short of an epic failure of leadership. Right? They put themselves into this position, and yet any changes to the leadership team? None that I could find. I read through a number of these articles just to see if I could pull out the notes, see if I was missing anything, but no. So I thought I'd summarize a few of them for you here and why I believe this is 100% on leadership. One is Intel's annual revenue fell by $24 billion from 2020 through 2023, even as its workforce grew by 10%, right? So revenues are declining, which again, you may have seen coming or didn't see coming, but did you adjust? No, you kept on hiring anyway. These next 4 quotes are from the CEO of the company. Our revenues have not grown as expected. That's a leadership issue. We've yet to fully benefit from the powerful trends like AI. Leadership again. Our costs are too high, our margins are too low. Leadership.
And the potential future benefiting from AI is obviously not going to be due to the employees. More of them would get laid off, most likely.
Thanks for jumping on, everybody. So as you know, we've made the very difficult decision to lay off 25% of the organization, and here's why you should be excited about that, okay? Because not only is it not a bad thing, it's actually a good thing, because it wasn't as much of a layoff as much as it is a re-strategizing of our existing priorities. And what that newfound focus is going to allow us to do is really reinvent and reimagine the way that we do business, okay? And while I can assure you that these decisions are not made in a vacuum, they are made with a mop, okay? Just like a clean sweep, so that now we have a clean floor. And what we're able to build on that floor is really up to you. Okay, because what this does is it opens up a lot of very exciting opportunities, not just for us as a business, but also for all of the remaining stakeholders. We have a lot more leeway and a lot more breathing room in order to give you guys the path that you need, okay? And while I know what you're thinking, oh, does this mean like I'm gonna get promoted, I'm gonna get a raise? Yeah.
So I know that this was supposed to be a skit, but all of us have heard this before. We've seen examples of people recording themselves getting fired over the Zoom calls. Reciting those same paragraphs over and over again will help you through this difficult time. We're restructuring, blah, blah, blah. And now I guess you're considered lucky if a human being tells you that you're fired now. We're just going to start seeing the robots tell you that. Now here's another one that I started to see that I don't think too many people are talking about.
Sherwin-Williams has just announced they are cutting and eliminating their employer 6% match for their employees to 0%. Now, they have done this here when the housing crash happened, during the health pandemic happened, and now, but that 6% employer match that employees were getting has now gone down to 0% due to the current economic difficulties that are occurring around the country. There are other employers and other companies that are doing a similar thing here as well. This is just why it's so important that if you want to retire earlier, wealthier, and happier, to be fully aware of that 401k structure rate and the taxes, of an IRA, of a Roth IRA, and my favorite type of account, that non-qualified account with long-term capital gains. So please be aware of what your employer is doing. What's happening to that matching percentage? Because this happened in the past where pensions almost got eliminated by a number of companies. So now 401ks are starting to be cut in half, if not go to 0% because of what is occurring. So be aware of what's happening with your own money and be aware of the choices you have as well.
So this is supposed to be one of the benefits working for a company. Of course, the checks that you would get every other week, a steady income, but then adding on top of it the benefits, whether it's insurance related or matching 401ks, but that's starting to disappear along with the pensions. Maybe they start cutting health insurance so you don't have as good of a plan, and everything becomes even less appealing. Economic difficulties then reports record profits, slippery slope because companies love to go, well, the competition is doing this, so we'll do it as well. I've gone over this many times, especially when we're talking about the car industry. A specific manufacturer or company does something that maybe a lot of people don't like putting ads in the car or putting features behind a subscription model. They get a whole bunch of backlash and maybe they pull back a little bit, but then they start adding it into the cars again. Then another manufacturer does something similar. And that's why almost everything seems to be a subscription now, and there's basically nothing we can do about it. But I am going to finish off this video with a clip and a comment from you guys. Never been more grateful to have a job.
This is a friendly reminder that if you've got a regular 9-to-5 and you're able to pay your bills, you are doing a fantastic job. Don't get caught up trying to impress people or live the life that you see on social media. Be proud of the job you have and that you're able to take care of yourself.
Because that's becoming less and less common in 2025. But that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. YouTube thinks you'll like this video popping up on screen right now, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and I'll talk to you guys later.